Yo. All right. We're live. What's up, guys? We are here now. Struggling with StreamYard, but we got it figured out. I don't know why StreamYard does not like me, but we got it. We got it figured out. So, what's up, guys? What's up? Welcome back. Wolf Bitcoin, another live Bitcoin and crypto market analysis session. We're going to dive into some charts again, as we usually do. And we'll see, if there's anything interesting that we need to report on today that has changed over the last 24 hours. As usual, this show is not financial advice. None of the takes that we're going to share here are suggestions to buy or sell. We're just doing chart analysis and really just reporting on the price action. We're just reporting and highlighting recent price action, key levels, historical data, not really forward-looking predictions. Although we can, we will look at just analysis-based conditional takes, right? So if this happens, then that. So, but as always, guys, investing, trading, it's all risky. You can lose some of your money, if not all of your money. So as always, do your own due diligence, figure some of this stuff out for yourself, chart your own charts, click your own clicks, trade your own trades. Don't copy trade people on the internet, and consult with whatever financial advisors or licensed regulated people you need to talk to when it comes to this stuff. Don't just follow people on the internet. Guys, with that, shout out to public.com/wolf for being a sponsor and a supporter of Wolf Bitcoin and a sponsor of this show and the content that we're producing here. So go check them out. Amazing TradFi plus crypto brokerage with agentic tools that lets you build strategies to maximize gains. Doesn't matter if you're long-term, short-term, focused. There's something there for you. Go check them out. Public.com/wolf. We got Enrique in the house. What's up, dude? What is up? When you buy something with profits, it's basically free. Yeah, sometimes that's the case. Sometimes that can be the case. All right, what are we going to look at today? We are going to look at the old Bitcoin. So let me pull that up really quick here, guys. Hold on here. Let me switch screens. There we go. Got the old Bitcoin with a nice pop this morning. Let me know if you guys caught that, by the way. Drop a comment in the chat. If you're coming in and you enjoy this type of content, if you've been watching or if you're a first-time viewer, appreciate you coming in. If you wouldn't mind, give us a like. If you like the stream, if you hang out with us for a little bit and you like what we're doing here, give it a like, give it a repost, drop a comment, come hang out with us, engage in the chat. Follow us on YouTube as well. Wolf Bitcoin on YouTube. Go find the account, sub. You're also welcome to watch the stream over there. We are streaming to YouTube right now. But yeah, let's get into the show, as Gary Vee used to say. Look, so Bitcoin. One of the main things that I want to review is we talked about this just yesterday. We talked about it the day before. We talked about it last week. We said Bitcoin on the daily has a daily range that's been forming here. And we've just been sideways inside this range between 62K on the high side and 58K on the downside. And we haven't had a single day since last Thursday that is poked out of this zone. Everything's been inside this range. Nothing has gone outside of it, right? No wicks, no bodies, nothing. And we said that we were looking for essentially the first move, whichever side it happened on, the first move, more often than not, is a fake out, right? The first move sets the direction, if you will. And that's exactly what we got. So last night, we finally had the first move outside of the range, and it was to the downside. And what do you know? We've got a big pop in price after that first move happened. So we're going to continue watching this range, but now we understand that likely that was the deviation that we needed. When you have this many inside bars inside of a candle like this, you have to pay attention to that range that candle establishes, basically, right? This candle range here is very, very important. So we are watching that. There is a 3-day range as well. So aside from the daily range, so let's go back to the daily chart. Top of the daily range is here at 61.9 or something like that, but we're calling it 62. That's the top of the daily range. More often than not, once you get a deviation outside the range, you go all the way across. So our initial target is 62. We're looking around 62, right? If it's going to go all the way across, right? It's already at the 50%. Can it fail here? Yes, absolutely. It can fail and it can come back down. It's just more often than not all the time, but more often than not, once you get a move in one side of the range, it goes to the other. There are exceptions to that. Clearly, there are exceptions to that. It doesn't happen all the time. On the 3-day, there's also a range here. And this one is less interesting because it doesn't have as many inside bars. You can see on the daily, you had 5 days worth of inside action here, internal price action that didn't breach. On the 3-day, you only had 1 day and then you had a breach. So still, I mean, the top of the 3-day, though, you're looking at 63,200. Okay. So 62 for the daily, 63,200 for the 3-day. And let's see if there's a weekly range. There is a weekly, but we already took the downside. So now on the weekly, I'm not really treating this as any kind of range. I will say you could make an argument that this is the larger range here on the weekly, right? So you could say, hold on. I'm going to do that. You could say that on the weekly, this is your weekly range and that this was the deviation. Like, I'm okay with that, right? So you had a couple inside bars, boom, swept the bottom of the range. Now potentially a move at least to the 50%. 50% is sitting at 66,200. And top side of the range is sitting at 70, basically 74K, ladies and gentlemen. So very interesting. We'll see how these candle ranges play out. But again, look, I'll draw your attention to 2 other examples of where this has played out. Here on Bitcoin, right? What did you have? You had weekly range, bunch of inside bars, first set of candles that poke outside the range, and then boom, you go all the way across. Okay. Let me show you another example here. Bunch of inside bars. First time you go outside of the range, boom, goes all the way across, right? So this does happen. There are multiple examples of where this happens. Doesn't happen all the time, but happens a lot of the time, right? Happens a lot of the time. So same thing. I'm wondering now you've got the inverse. Now you've got here. Does this mean that this is now loading, right? Does that mean that that is now loading? Because now you've also now you've got confluence between multiple things as well. You have the daily range that you just went outside of. You just went outside of the 3-day range. You just went outside of the weekly range. And you could almost argue as well that you went outside of like a monthly range, maybe. Yeah, you have a monthly candle, swept the low of that monthly, and it's now back inside that monthly candle. Look at that. Although it's already been across one time, but could you at least come up to the 50%, which is sitting at 68, 69? Sure. I think it's possible. I think you could make a move for 68, somewhere up there, maybe 70, right? Which is kind of what I've been talking about. So very, very interesting stuff. We'll have to just watch it and see how it develops. We will have to watch it, but you guys know where I stand. In my opinion, I am going to continue to look for price action higher until we get a clear signal and message that that is not, in fact, happening. But right now, I think it made more sense. That doesn't really matter how you looked at it. It made more sense to be looking for longs down here as opposed to looking for shorts. Shorts were up here. Shorts were up here. Shorts were up here. Right? Shorts should be at the top of moves, not at the bottom of moves. Longs need to happen at the bottom of moves, right? Just as a general rule of thumb. So, yeah. You think this monthly will be green? I do too. I've been talking about a green July. Green July, green July, green July. Do you remember wave 5 and one more low? We had it. Nice. Nice, man. You were short. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on the side that I think we see some upside here. I'm on the side that I think we get a little bit of upside. And again, I'm not calling for new all-time highs. I'm not calling for price discovery. We're simply talking about make a mean reversion move up a little bit higher than we are right now. Another way to think about this is also the averages. You've got these two massive VWAPs up here, a 6-month rolling and a 3-month rolling. Both of those are kind of converging up here at like 71, right? They're up there. 7,400 and then 72.5 basically. Call it 70,500. Call it 70.5 right here. You know, let's do it. In my opinion, let's do it. Are there any EMAs? Let's see if there's any EMAs up here. There's a lot of EMAs. A lot of EMAs up here. So you've got the 50 sitting at 66.9. You've got the 100 at 70.1. You've got the 200 at 76.2, and you've got the 800 all the way up at 79. Wouldn't that be something? A move to 79. That would be wild. Wild. What would that look like? Yeah, that'd be a crazy move. Yeah, that's it. That's a huge move. I mean, I think more realistically, like you're looking at more realistically, you're kind of looking at somewhere around here, around the VWAPs, which is still almost a 20% move to the upside. If you manage to go a little bit higher and you get up to like the 200, 800, you're almost a 30% move off of the lows. That's a big move. That's a big move off of the lows. Let's look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart, you've got the 200 intersecting up here with the 13 at about 68.5. And you've got the 50 intersecting with the 100 up here at about 80K. At about 80K. You know, could it come up and test somewhere up here is the question right now. Could it do that? Yeah, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. What's interesting is on this weekly chart, this 200 EMA, man, it really, look at that. I mean, rejection there, rejection. Once you got above that 200 on the weekly, it was off. You know, it was just no looking back. If this thing were to get back above here, it'd be really, really interesting. So that's at what? What do we say? 60K? Yeah, right around 60. Oh no, 68. Sorry, 68.5. Okay. Very interesting. 68.5. But you've got a lot of downside pressure though with these EMAs. All of them are curling lower. All of them are curling lower. So who knows? Let's go look at the monthly. We got the monthly 50 sitting at about 65,359. So 65.5 to the upside could get sticky. And then the 21 and the 13 are up here at like 77, 76. To the downside, the 100 is at 40,600. Yeah. Let's go back into like a 4-hour quickly. This is looking good so far though. Nice volume, nice green volume. Look at that. Engulfing, beautiful, just strong green volume here on the 4-hour. Everything on the oscillators are bullish. They're looking good. They're looking strong. Histogram is already crossed up. These moving averages are also moving to the upside. Yeah, I have no, like, it's hard for me to be bearish here. Although I understand, like, this, if you're getting a rejection, this is kind of the area where you're likely to get that. I fully understand that. Trust me, I do. Like this, right? Like, if you're gonna reject, this is where you're gonna reject. Absolutely, no doubt about it. If it's going lower, this is where it's going lower. This is where it's gonna, like, struggle a little bit. But this is a nice high volume push into that. We'll see what ends up happening here. Ideally, if we're bullish, this, even if this retraces a little bit, you're looking for a higher low. So even if this does pull back a little bit, like, you're kind of looking for that higher low, and another attempt to get through that. Let's just keep an eye on this. Definitely an area to start kind of paying attention here. Definitely an area to start paying attention. Yeah. This is it. This is where we got to be. We got to be locked in, folks. We got to be locked in here. This does look like some pressure to the upside, though. Look at the lows. Like, this looks like it wants to push up. To me, it looks like it wants to push up. To me, that looks like it wants to squeeze up. We'll see if we can get that. We'll see if we can get that squeeze to the upside. And if not, look, you do have some structure on the lower time frames. You got that recent swing that you just put in, and then you've got this swing down here as well from a little bit earlier today on these lower time frames. So you could be watching these on a 5-minute or on a 15-minute and just paying attention to structure. If you start to lose, like, let's say on the 5-minute here, you start to see this come down and it takes that out, right? And you start coming back up, the good chance you can get a rejection here, right? Something like that were to happen. Decent chance you're going to get a rejection, come down to test this one. Same thing. You break through this one. Like, let's say you come down to this imbalance here. There's a chance that on the way up, this could also be resistance here. This could give you a little bit of trouble on the way up. So we'll see it on the lower time frames. Ideally, what you want to see is this thing continues pushing to the upside and not really coming down for like a deep correction. If it does come down, let it just sweep and immediately go higher. Like, let it be a sweep, quick deviation here, nothing that really holds. And I think you can continue to see that to the upside. But no doubt it's kind of rounding off here a little bit. It's definitely rounding off. So could you put a trend line on these lows maybe and say, hey, as long as we're above that, I'm gonna kind of keep looking for continuation. Sure. Just keep in mind you could deviate that and then still go higher. You could still just continue higher. Yo, what is up, Mr. DDT? Darren does things. What's up, dude? I'm the last bull standing, brother. This is crazy, man. I have a reputation for being a bear. How the heck am I on Team Bull now? How am I? I mean, it's just a contrarian in me. To be fair, it's just a contrarian in me. And I could be epically, like, I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong, and this thing just melts down, right? I could be totally wrong. But as of right now, I'm long from 58.3. 58.3 long and strong. Let's see if we can keep going. Let's see if we can keep going. We were due. You missed the entry. You were asleep when Asia took the low. I mean, I still think it looks good. But yeah, at this point, like, you're kind of waiting for structure, huh? You're waiting for a little more structure, a nice pullback opportunity, something like that. Yo, what's up, Trade Decision? Good to have you, man. Was looking at some of your posts, dude. Good stuff, man. This guy, Trade Decision, if you guys aren't following him, go check him out too. He does a lot of really good analysis, man. Waiting for the pullback to your hedge short. Binance Chad's the only spot buyer. Their buy's getting sold into by the 5 other exchanges so far. Hey, I'm on Team Binance. Let's send it. Rebel. Either rebel or fool, right? Where's the line for the distinction between that, man? I'm either rebellious or foolish. Where do we draw the line? I don't know. You expect the dead gap to take out some of those late longs. You're watching 59 to 59.4. What? That deep, huh? No, that's right in line with this, right? It's right in line with this. If we get another push here, though, right? If we get another push, then that'll be interesting. We could spend quite a bit of time up here above high of yesterday, depending on this next push. Definitely depends on that next push. You'll swing it, target 65K at the least. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's send it. Let's send it. Let's definitely send it. So let's see what happens here. Look, USDC and USDT dominance. We were talking about looking for something like that. We didn't get it. The alternative is you look for something like that. You need a breakdown here. This is a clear horizontal range. Let's see if it breaks down and then comes back up, and then you get the continuation, right? I guess another alternative is you could just be getting a deviation here. Like this could just be doing that, and then you get the move up, and then you still get the move down. Like there's so many possibilities that could happen. But currently, like my rationale for a lot of this as well is we just opened a new month, a new quarter, all of that. The macro trend, right? The macro trend is clearly down. Let's hide this VWAPs. This is clearly down. If there is a fake move to be had at the beginning of any period, really any given period, right? Like usually the fake moves are at the beginning of a period. It's either a fake out at the beginning of the day, a fake out at the beginning of a session, a fake out at the beginning of a week, a fake out at the beginning of a month, fake out at the beginning of a quarter. It's always at the beginning. Rarely is the fake out in the middle, towards the end. Usually middle to end is when you're getting the continuation. You're getting the real move, usually middle to end. Usually the fake outs in the beginning. So if larger trend is down, would it not make sense that on a new monthly open, new weekly open, new quarterly open, new 6-month open, that the fake move is to the upside if it's to continue down? Like this is the only reason I'm bullish. This is the only reason I'm bullish. Because I think there's a bigger move coming down and I want to smack it from a little bit higher. That's it. That's the only reason. That's the only reason that I'm looking for higher. I even had somewhere here. Did I delete it? I may have deleted it. I don't know why I would have deleted it. Oh, no, it's this. It's this. Okay, I even had this. Like I think I even posted this. Like just something like this, right? Simple, right? Getting a bounce from down here at the bottom of the channel, move it to the top of the channel, somewhere over there, at least to the midpoint, and then send it lower, right? This is not that big of a stretch to think that you could see something like this, right? So that's kind of, this is where my head's at. Can this just melt down from here? Yes, 100%. 100% it could just melt down. But where is this from? Oh, let's get rid of that. But yeah, that to me looks like it needs to climb up a little bit before it rolls over. But that's just me. That's just me. A bullish July and Mexico winning the World Cup. Oh, that would be, dude. That would be epic. That would be epic. It'd be crazy. Yeah, that would be a pretty wild outcome. Let's see what happens here. But yeah, I think it's looking pretty good right now. It's a non-zero. It's a non-zero possibility. It's a strong non-zero. Is that a thing? It has a strong non-zero probability. Is that a thing? You know? It's more non-zero than the alternative. Maybe. I don't know if that makes any sense. The alternative has a greater non-zero or a lesser non-zero. I don't know. But anyways, now I'm just yapping. So let's see what happens here. Still watching these others charts. I'm kind of wondering though, like if these things are gonna pop from here, right? So total three or this others. Both of them are ratio charts, so they're over BTC. Whether it's total three excludes stables over BTC or it's others over BTC. I'm wondering if these get a pop as BTC kind of goes higher and then cools off. These things get a pop, or do they need one more little dippy dip, get the non-believers out, and then they send, right? I mean, I guess I'm fine with either, but the dip would give us more opportunity for sure. If we can see these things dip against BTC like this, which could mean that they actually don't drop all that much, right? Like an example of this would be Doge, by the way, looking so good. An example of this would be like these two charts, right? Aster. Aster doesn't have to dip very much. It just has to stay flat while Bitcoin goes higher for the Aster BTC chart to look like this is bleeding against Bitcoin, right? Like that's all you really require. So, what is happening here on Useless Coin? We need to update these levels on Useless, but we'll come back to that. So, God, I almost got distracted there, guys. It's dangerous. Don't let me do that. Don't let me get distracted like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of questioning here, like, what does that next move look like? We also need to update these monthly levels on here as well, I guess, and the quarterly levels. We got to update the quarterly levels now as well, and the 6-month level. Oh, great! All right, so you know what? We just basically need to update all of these levels on all of this stuff because, yeah. We got to update all of it. We just everything changed all at once. 6-month levels changed, quarterly levels changed, monthly levels changed. It all changed. So, okay. So we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of updating to do then. So let's do that. Let's do it real quickly here on BTC. Let's go to the 3-month. Let's quickly label some of this stuff here on old Biddy. What is this? Let's get rid of that. What are these things? Hold on here. Let's go into the low time frame. What am I deleting? Okay. I'm deleting this stuff. Let's just make this where it's not visible on the higher time frame. So I don't want to see it on weeks and months. I don't want to see this months or weeks. And I don't want to see this months or weeks. Okay. Let's go to 3-month. All right. So very, very simply. And with all these trend lines, one of these may be it, to be honest. But it's okay. I'll go back and clean up that history. Last quarter low. Last quarter high. Very simple, right? Previous quarter high. Previous quarter low. There we go. Two big levels that we need to monitor. Let's do the 6-month as well. So the 6-month was the quarterly low. 6-month high is way up here. I'm not going to mark that out. That's a lot of distance. It's a lot of distance still. Let's clean these up though for sure. Okay. So last month is the quarterly low. We know that. We'll place this here as previous month high. Where are you? There you are. There you are. I guess I can just overlay it here. I don't know if there's a lot of value to having it overlap, but we'll just do that. Let's go to the weekly. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, a little more tidied up. So monthly range, like this is a massive monthly range, and we just swept that low. If this thing's able to move all the way across the monthly range, that's a very nice looking range from from current price. It's 23% or so on that monthly range. If it's able to travel the entire quarterly range from current price, you're looking at 38%. That is very nice. Big inefficiency zone up here above 67.5-ish. You can see that major inefficiency here on the weekly. And here, let's turn on. We got the weeks, the days. Yeah, beautiful. All right. So this is these are the levels, guys. This is what we're watching here. Right now, currently, previous week, previous month, and previous quarter are all basically overlapping because we just started all of those brand new. But those will change as we work through the quarter. Yeah. So 50% previous week, sitting here at 61.8 or so. It's also right under the top of this daily range we were talking about. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking really nice. Looking really, really nice. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's see, guys, if we can't. Let's see if we can't get a nice little pop. Nice little pop. Let's do some trend-based fibs just to see what the heck it tells us. No, that's not the one I wanted. Hold on here. Trend-based Fibonaccios. So the 100%, yeah, look at that. Your 100% is sitting right here at 65. So of this move here, 60 to 67, down back to 58 or whatever that is. 100% extension is sitting at 65.7, right at that previous week high. Very interesting. The 1618 is at 71.2, baby. Give me that 72 that we've been talking about right there. Right there. It's calling. I'm telling you, it's calling. 72K before 55. It's been calling me. I think we're going to get it, guys. I think we might get it. Man, I hope we get it. It would be epic if we got that move. Let's see if we can get it. 2618 up here at 81. Yeah, this will be fun. This will be really, really fun if we can get that move. Yeah. How did I do the candle range? Like how did I set up the tool, you mean, the template? Spaceman BTC key levels. Does that do Darren, does that do quarterly levels? Does that do quarterly levels? Because I mean, to be fair, the Gentleman's Suite will do the monthly levels as well. I just don't like how dark they are. I'm just being picky, but it'll do them. Gentleman's Suite will do all of these. They'll do the opens as well. Year high, interim day high. Gentleman's Suite will do them all. Part of the reason, though, why I like to do them myself also is it forces me to comb through the different levels. Like it forces me to actively go through and actually like tick everything, right? So it kind of forces me to manually do the zoom out to zoom in game. And I think there's value in that as opposed to just letting it do. I would say like it's the equivalent of you just let Chat GPT or Claude write code for you and then you just try and deploy it versus like, nah, I'm going to manually review this thing, or asking another AI LLM or whatever to review it versus you manually reviewing it, right? So I don't know, dude. I'm old school, dude. I'm getting old. Man. I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm getting old. And some things you just, dude, I like to write things on sticky notes and stuff still, right? Like it is what it is. I make my own coffee. I write notes, pen and paper. You know what I mean? It has quarterly, huh? Yeah. Okay, I'll check it out. I mean, truthfully, I just need to get Ash to just throw it in the Gentleman's Suite and just be like, dude, I need quarterly opens. I need them. I need 12 months, 6 months, and quarterlies. I need them. Dang it. As far as the candle range, though, so I have a few templates for the fib tool. I have candle range, which is just basically, here, I'll open it up so you guys can see it. Candle range is just a fib retracement, and it just has 25%, 50%, 75%, you know, just the big ones. and you can color code them however you want, do whatever you need there. You don't have to extend it if you don't want it extended. I extend it by default, but it doesn't really matter. But you can, that's my candle range. I also use it for a fib retracement, which is the standard fib levels. And then I've got a golden pocket only that just highlights the 61865. And it's also got the deeper pullback. I don't know if there's a name for this, like 786 to 854. But I've got that one on there as well. Right. And then I had this negative fibs thing that I was playing with, but I can't even truly remember how the heck I was using it. But I was doing something with that. I don't even remember what it was though anymore. But you do like negative fibs. It was for something. I can't remember. I was testing it out. And then I've got my swing target tool to do swing targets. I'll show you guys how that one works. This one's actually pretty cool. Swing targets are pretty cool. Swing targets here. I'll actually show you the swing targets right now live. So for example, when you get a consolidation area like this just kind of going sideways, right? Let's say you were trying to figure out like, okay, this consolidation, where's the measured move on a break from this little consolidation before you get continuation, right? So you use this in combination with the fixed range volume profile. So you get, where the heck is it? You run the fixed range of this area here, and then wherever the POC is, it's kind of hard to see in here. Let's see if I can maybe zoom in a little bit more. Yeah. All right, so you'd find the POC, and then you use the swing target tool. Just you start at the POC, and then you drag it up to the point where this next leg down started. So the starting point of the leg down, you drag it up to there, and then it kind of gives you the rough zone where you would expect a drop. So it's kind of like a measured move of like where that next one would go. And you can set like that measured move and then put this one below it and just have kind of both. But usually I do with this one. You kind of want to go with where the volume starts, honestly. Like, was there really a lot of volume here versus like here? Or sometimes even the volume is like you're really not measuring it until like where the waterfall actually starts, right? So but that's the swing target tool. And you can back test it. It actually it does pretty well. It's not perfect, but it does all right. Let me show you, like here, for example, you see how you're getting these moves higher. Let's see if we can maybe like pick this area here. So we'd grab like a fixed range, and let's say we were trying to say, okay, like we want to see where this thing's going to go. Then you'd grab your swing target, you'd pull that down to where the volume started. So either you can grab this leg here, which was like mainly the impulsive leg up here, and that kind of gave you where this next move went to, right? But if you grabbed it from the bottom, I mean, it almost calls the top a lot of times. So interesting little tool. Picked it up from a couple. Who was doing it? No, that was actually that was in a mentorship group that I was in, actually, now that I think about it. Same thing here, right? As you're kind of coming down, like if you were back here, you had this move and then you had these moves here, and you were like coming down and you're trying to figure out, oh, like where's that next move likely to go, right? And you were like, all right, well, I'm gonna grab my fixed range, I'm gonna grab my POC, I'm gonna grab swing target, pull it back. There's the waterfall, there's the top of the move. We're gonna just set it. For this example, I'm gonna set it right here, kind of in the middle. But I mean, we can tweak it, whether it's from here where the actual fast move started, or the top of the extension. You guys will kind of see how that looks like. And then if we hit play, where the heck is the play? You're watching that happen. Boom. I mean, like right there, right? Isn't that funny? And even if you went to the extension, it basically gave you the wick low. Kind of gives you like the measured move of where that falls. So it just kind of depends, like how picky you are about where that went. But It essentially gave you the measured move of what that was going to be, depending on where you placed it. Right? Not perfect. Doesn't work all the time. Works enough that I kept it as a template. So your indicator isn't released yet though, but it's hybrid TBD Spaceman Sessions level indicator. Nice, man. Yeah, let me know when it's when you got a preview ready. I'd love to check it out. You're 41. Us millennials. There you go, dude. Dude, we're getting old, man. I mean, I don't feel old, and I say that. I only say that because I trip out like when people tell me that they were born after the 2000 or something, or like people that are born like after, like 2005 or say. I'm like, what, dude? That makes me feel old. The fact that my kids make me feel old, dude. I've got kids almost as kids as tall as me already. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense, Solstice. 786886 fib is called the Platinum Pocket. I didn't know that. Is it really? Okay. Yeah, I use 786854. I don't go to 886. I go to 854. When I've back tested, I've kind of found that that's kind of the sweet spot. But yeah, all the way to 886 would make sense. The Platinum Pocket. Do you make that up, or is that real? Am I going to start calling it platinum, and then people are like, "Did you make that up?" Soul Stick? What do you mean Soul Stick? Soul's looking good, huh? It is at a big area though. Like this is we can't get too comfy here till we get above this zone. We got to get above this zone. I've seen way too many times when you push up into a zone like this, even if it looks like it's got really good momentum, and this thing just does not like it. So we got to push above here. Definitely an area to be cautious. Definitely an area to be cautious. Sweet, like sweet charts right now. I don't like these as much either. I got to go back and review these. I got to update all these levels on all of this stuff. Still watching ETH BTC. It needs to make a move. ETH BTC's got to make a move. It's flat. It's not doing anything right now. It's just flat. Let's zoom back in here to BTC. What are we doing? What are we doing, Bitcoin? What are we doing? We're going to get a little bit of a push or not? We getting a push or not? All right, let's look at, let's see what's moving today. Hold on, let me switch templates. Doge got a nice little pump, man. I grabbed a long down here on Doge. It's looking good. Let's see if it can hold that. Sin, big down on the day, huh? That's nothing. Are you kidding me? That is nothing. That is nothing. That's nothing compared to what's probably coming if it doesn't recover. 50%. DYDX. Oof, that looks brutal on DYDX. That does not look good on DYDX. That one does not look good either. Probo. AI. Ooh, AI is kind of doing like a little W type dealio here. You just got to be careful though, because sometimes they set it up like it's gonna try and bounce, and it bounce doesn't bounce. Wild. What is this? WorldCoin. WLD, man, we only got that TP1, and then it stopped us out. Stopped us out in profit, and it is just not happy. Not happy. So let's clear all that out. We'll revisit this one if it makes sense at a later time. Does not make sense. Does not make sense. Does not make sense. Does not. Nah, let's keep going. Nope. Oof, that one looks brutal. Momentum might get some down. It's getting some downside momentum right now. Look at that. That looks beautiful on the weekly. This thing should sweep down here to 1261. Hold on. This thing's about to pick up momentum to the downside, though, is what it's about to do here. This thing is about to rip. What the heck is wrong with this stupid tool? You kidding me right now? There you go. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? What the heck? Why does it do this? Why does it do this? What is the point of this? What is the point of this? Hold on here. What the heck? Come. There's got to be an easier way to fix that. I guess I could have just manually set the inputs. All right. Let's see if there's a way we can get in on this move. And the R is crap here. So let's see if there's a better opportunity. That R is crap. Looks like trash. I mean, is there a chance that this thing could go lower? Probably, but this is like where I'd safely be exiting. So let's just see if maybe is there a way that this thing can pop and we can get a better entry on it. If we wanted to play it, not that we have to. There's a bunch of other things we could be playing. Yeah, ideally, like you almost wanted to come back up here, but that's just where we fell from not long ago. Nah, we might have just missed this one. This was the move. After that sweep, this was the move. Boom, fake out. Get in right here on the move back below previous day low. And then writing that down here. This was the trade. And then at this point, frankly, you could probably do that. And if you got in now, not enough R for me. I wouldn't play that. Soul still up to 100. I think Soul still looks good, but we just have to be careful in this zone. It's a big zone. It's a big zone. Not made up. General accept determined forex stratify. Okay, cool. Good to know, man. Good to know. I want to make sure you weren't setting me up to get laughed at, Did I see Robin Hood launched an L2 called Robin Hood Chain? Should have been Hood Chain. Hood Chain would have been gangster. They should have called it this like Screets. You know what I mean? That's what was announced just today, huh? I'm assuming. The Lighter team teamed up with Robinhood. Lit. Let's go look at Lit really quick as well. Some people have really been super bullish on Lighter. So what? That probably means it's time for Lighter to pull back. Look at that. This thing wants a pullback. That wants a pullback badly. And this one might not be too late. This one might not be too late to play. At least to here. It's not bad. At least to there is not bad. Boom. I like that. Yeah, you basically had 3 drives, an extension, like a euphoric last one, and then I mean, shoot, I would probably hold on here. Let's hide that really quickly. There may be a play here. There really may be a play here. Let's get the candle range of this last. Give me that candle range. Okay. At least a sweep of last week's low would make sense, I think, right? So a sweep of this previous week low, especially if we're having trouble with previous week high. We start seeing some closes below previous week high, then I think previous week low looks attractive. Let's check a 2-week really fast. Nah, I'm not seeing anything. All right, let's go to a 3-day, 5-day. Interesting. The last 5-day low is right at that 50% area. 3-day, nah, nothing really here. Yeah, I'd be looking at that previous week low. Previous week low makes sense then. Oops, look, Gentleman Suite's already labeling it. So yeah, I think if we start getting some closes, I mean, if you get a daily close below previous week high, then it's probably coming for previous week low. And in that case, like even if we catch it down here somewhere, invalidation is above that and target is here, it's almost a 2-hour. Like, with a little bit of extension there, you're basically looking at a 2-hour trade. Like you're coming here, you're playing it up here. Like it is what it is. It's a 2-hour trade. It's a 2-hour trade, no matter how you label it, how you do it. It's basically a 2-to-1. Now, is there the potential that this sucker wants to come way down here? I will say, big if this thing did come below here, God, I hope I'm paying attention. I hope I am paying attention because, in my opinion, the next move is going to be something like that. In my opinion, the next move would be something like that. So if this were to come down below here, in my opinion, that next move is going to be absolutely epic. At least up here. Something like that. If we get that move down. I'm going to throw a channel on here real quick and we'll see if my levels make any kind of sense with that type of move. Okay. Let's throw a channel on here really quickly. Should we do this? Let's see if there's any kind of confluence to what I'm saying is possible. Bottom of the channel. Maybe it overextends a little bit. Almost the top of the channel. Yeah, I mean, I'm not crazy about this channel. Is there a better way we can draw that? You definitely could draw this in the short term here and call it that for sure. You could definitely do that. Anchor the two tops. Boom. This is the low between the two tops. You definitely have that. Let's invert this really quickly. See if we're missing anything. Here, let's hide. Yeah, I mean, did that sweep? No, I did not quite sweep. Okay. Maybe there's one more. Maybe there's one more. Boom. And then if you saw something like this, dude, you saw something like that, this thing is definitely heading up to that zone. 100%. You see something like this? Actually, this actually looks pretty clean. This actually looks really clean. I like it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that. I like it a lot. All right. There you go. Lighter prediction. And then I do think, again, I do think if it comes down here, I do think the next move is something like that. Easy. This little push up here is probably optional. Doesn't have to do it. It could roll over from here and the rest of the path is still valid, in my opinion. Right? You could just basically say, like, that's it right there. Right? Whether it goes up and it does the last little swing or not, it's kind of optional. But yeah, I think lighter. I think there's a decent chance you can buy lighter back at about $1. Back at about $1. Easy. L2 was announced today. Athena partnership, Robinhood 2 crypto lending product. Hood looks juicy. Yeah, I'm in Hood on the TradFi side for sure. I've got Hood, Upstart, SoFi, I think. I don't know. I've got a few. We picked up some stuff last month. Picked up a lot of stuff last month. Shoot, we're over on time. Hold on. Was there another Wolf show that I need to jump off for? Let me double check. No, we're good. Okay. We're good. But I do believe there's some soccer action, some World Cup action going on, isn't there, right now? Let's see what's live. Yeah, Belgium. Belgium's playing right now. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Cool. Well, look, fellas. Let's I think we're gonna call it here. Let's see what we get rest of today through end of the week. Bitcoin needs to keep pushing higher. I do not want to see Bitcoin, Solana, Doge, ETH, all of this stuff cannot call it quits here. It won't be good. Ideally, I want to see Bitcoin above 61, 62K ASAP. We need to see Solana get above this zone as well. Ideally, I want to see Solana up in the upper 80s ASAP, and then it can cool off. Then Bitcoin can cool off. Everything can cool off, right? But I think it needs to pop and push a little bit more here before we call it. So let's see if we can get that. Appreciate you, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, everyone that's watching. Appreciate you, folks. And yeah, look, we'll be back. I will be streaming again tonight. I will be live tonight from my personal account. Probably will be after the USA game. It'll probably be after the USA game, not before, not during, after. So I'll let you guys know if that's the case. I'll let you guys know that we're going live in an hour or whatever. We'll post that out, and then we'll come on, look at some price action, a little bit more of a charts and chill evening sesh type of vibe. But with that, guys, appreciate y'all. Shout out again to Public. If you guys that are here regulars and you haven't gone and looked at Public, go create a free account really quickly. Go check them out. Public.com/wolf. Go check them out. Go check them out. They got some cool stuff over there. You legitimately, you guys might like what Public is offering. You really might. So go check them out. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate y'all hanging with me, listening to me rant, looking at these charts. While I know you guys also have a lot going on and you've got your own content, your own communities, your own trades and all that stuff. So it's always good. Always appreciate it. You guys hang with us as always. And for anyone who's listening to this, if this was your first time or if you've just discovered this in the last few days or weeks, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you're following Wolf Bitcoin on X, follow Wolf Bitcoin on YouTube. If you want to follow me on X, the handle is @bitsofwealth. On YouTube, it's @bitsofwealth crypto. Share this content, repost it, like it, comment, all that stuff. It all helps, and it lets us know that we're doing something that's well received, that we're doing something valuable, something interesting, something entertaining, something useful. So share it out. Invite people, invite friends to come hang with us during these shows. People that are, it doesn't matter if you're just getting started, you've been doing it for a while, you're a professional. Like, hey, I'd love to have your takes on here. If you've been doing this longer than I have, like I've got no ego in any of this. I'm here to learn. Hopefully we're all here to learn and get better. And I'm building in public here. We're building, we're growing at Wolf Bitcoin. So that's all we're doing, guys. Better every day, growing, learning, improving, giving back in the process as we're doing it, right? Learn, do, teach. Very much a learn, do, teach, and repeat model. and we're going to keep it going. So with that, appreciate you guys. Shout out to Public, shout out to Wolf Bitcoin, shout out to all you amazing folks that tune into this stuff. We'll see y'all a little later on tonight on my personal page. And if not, we'll be back here tomorrow at 4 p.m. Tomorrow will be 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back here on Wolf Bitcoin for more of this, and we'll have more market talk spaces and all the good stuff. So with that, appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.